Hello, you beautiful nerds. Welcome to the Drunk Banthas podcast, where we talk about sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and all of the popular art that we love. Also, we do it drunk. I'm joined, as always, by my brother Bill. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing? I don't think I ever asked you that. I think it's the first time I've asked you since
I've been waiting.
I think this is the first time ever doing this show that I've ever asked you how you were doing.
You know, most times you don't even say how you're doing. You're,
You know what? That's actually probably true. I think I sometimes say something really funny and clever about the show that we're watching.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't find too much funny or clever in the show that we were watching. But I'm doing great.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear.
I just watched it. So I just finished watching it. Thank you guys for liking and subscribing and watching the shows, even though we've been late getting them out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so many fucking shows. You know what I'm saying? We got to get it all together, and we got jobs, man.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you don't want us to have jobs anymore, like, subscribe, share, you know,
There is
comment, kiss your mama.
I was thinking the other day, it is kind of like a great time to be a nerd, because like every day I wake up, there's something new that like is like seems like it's made specifically for me. Like, oh, a new episode of Lower Decks. Oh, there's a new episode of I was about to say How I Met Your Mother. What We Do in the Shadows. Or,
It's always been a good time to, you know, be a nerd.
I mean, yes, obviously, it's not trying to disparage any nerds out there.
Look at through the history of time. You know, like fucking Isaac Newton and shit.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like Sir Isaac Newton. He went from a little thirsty, you know, nerd to fucking Sir Isaac Newton.
Yeah, that's true. That was cool
George
for him.
Lucas.
But no, yeah, I'm just saying, like, yeah, there's just a lot of like, there's never been a time in my life where like every day I wake up and there's a new episode of like specifically nerd shit that's actually good that's coming out like every week. So it's like,
I don't know. You taking for granted the '90s that we lived through. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
You're taking for granted. You're taking for granted your Dark Queen Ducks, your Rescue Rangers, your the list goes on and on, man.
It does feel like
Powerpuff
all that
Girls.
stuff like came at yeah. The 90s was great. It was like a nice
Killed
10-year
y'all, man.
period.
Fuck y'all's TV today. It sucks.
I'm Jedi Master Grayson, and today we are talking about the premiere of the new Star Wars series Andor on Disney Plus. Before we get into the first 3 episodes, what are your first thoughts on this series?
Your thoughts ain't my thoughts. These are not the shows you're looking for. You know, well, my first thoughts on the show is episode 2 was surprisingly bad. But, you know,
Yeah.
I'm interested in the story, so I like it so far.
Okay. Yeah, I'm digging it. So
I gotta help this dog sit down. Right back.
yeah, I'm also digging it so far. I do agree that the episode 2 was really slow. I feel like if this show was coming out week to week, then people would have started turning on this show if like by the second week. It been like, the show sucks. But it does have like a similar pacing problem as other streaming shows and other like specifically Star Wars streaming shows. But I will say that it looks like way better than a lot of the other Star Wars shows. Like there's a lot of tangible practicality to everything, or to a lot of the sets, which when they start blending those things with CGI, like CGI models, it just makes it look that much more believable, more, you know, like tactile.
So tactile. See, this is what I get out of this chair for fucking 10 seconds, and you start talking about tactiles. Look, don't nobody care about your. What are you, Turkish? Your textiles?
But yeah,
I think those are textiles. Well, no.
I
got nothing but junk
tapestries. What do you think I'm talking?
Textiles. I think Turkey is like the first people who did textiles.
Oh, well, okay.
You know, Look, I'm sorry. This is different. That's a different nerd show. That's a different nerd show.
But yeah,
somebody's gonna Google it. Thomas is probably gonna Google that. And he's gonna be like, ah, damn, I learned something again watching this show. Fucking textiles, but textiles.
It is. I was saying it feels tactile, like it feels tangible, like it feels like more real than like some of the other worlds that we've seen in Star Wars.
Feels tacky. No, I like the world. I like everything about it's Star Wars, nigga. It's Star Wars, so I like it, but it's not. None. It didn't make. There was certain things that just didn't make any sense. It seems. I say self-serving. When I say self-serving, I mean the director or the writer or whoever, executive producer, somebody wanted that from it. And so that's why we got that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, episode 2 was just not even necessary, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't even need the entire episode. You could have just took one and then ended one and then started on 2. I mean, started on 3 and boom, we're good.
Yeah, and there was some like weird editing choices because I felt like, I mean, ever since Arrow, I've been very sick of shows that like have multiple episodes where we're going back and forth between like the present and the character's past.
Arrow messed that up for you?
Oh, it really messed it up.
Well, see, I never watched Arrow. I didn't watch Arrow. I mean, I watched one episode of Arrow, I think, but I don't. Right. I don't know if these beautiful people here know you. I'm talking to you. Listen, I hate all WB DC related genre bullshit except for Smallville. And this is love hate. It's a love hate. I stopped watching Smallville for 6 years. Picked back up the last year of this fucking season just because it was the last one. I'm like, look, I'm gonna watch the end. Finally, nigga might fly. Finally, we're gonna see Superman fly.
And
wrong.
Yeah.
Didn't even get to see that. So anyway,
yeah.
It had very DC vibes at certain points in episode 2, so I didn't like that. But
yeah.
Other than that, man, I liked the back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Like in this show. I think they're doing a good job of it, at least so far. Hopefully it's ended because that's the only thing we needed to see.
Yeah.
I needed to just see why is this white lady his mama, and that's all I need to know.
Right. Yeah, I could have done with all that back and forth. Like, and to your point, like how like 2 and 3 could have just been one episode. I feel like you could probably compile the back and forth because I don't hate the back and forth. Just the multiple episodes I think I just had Arrow PTSD. I was like, oh no, is this the whole season? Is this what the whole season's gonna be?
Is they gonna do this the whole time? I mean, look, they still might, bro. You're not out of the woods yet. They still could do it the entire season.
Now we got to see her.
Now we got to see aged down Andor. Like, okay,
right.
Why we had to age him down? Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because I am okay. Because let's talk about like. Just like the flashback a little bit. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like he still had people back at the planet, right? Like they just kind of.
No, well, they explained that the planet ended up dying. Remember, because they're mining, they mined it too much.
I mean,
somebody said that in episode 2. I think.
Yeah,
maybe that's the reason that it was. That's the reason we had to have episode 2 because we had to have that explanation.
In one
couldn't
line.
have fit that in. Yeah, in one line. Couldn't have fit that in anywhere else throughout the show.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So yeah.
So
they did kind of like slyly kind of explain away what you're talking about.
I guess that does explain why inevitably it was a good decision, but it does seem like it turned out to be a good decision.
For like Madonna ass bitch to come just fucking drug your child and fucking take off in outer space. I have a
sister and a family back there. Like you could have just taken me back home. You didn't have to like take me away from the planet.
Like right. Well, they ain't speak the language, so it was like we gotta make this quick.
That's a good point. Well, yeah, like,
and to be fair, the Empire was coming to just kill everybody.
Yeah, they did make it seem like that.
Which I mean, sure. I don't even know why. Like Jesus, these people didn't do anything. They just there.
Yeah, they were where you crashed.
You clearly have been mining their fucking planet without their permission and apparently without most of their knowledge. Like, they look like that shit like they ain't never seen it before. Anyway.
Yeah, I was like, how far away from your camp do you actually travel?
Well, I mean, that was pretty far. If they were going to where that ship crashed, that was pretty damn far. It was pretty far. It's like, that's like a few days travel. You know what I'm saying? For some kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we don't need to do that. Oh my God. This other dog is just like, the dogs are fucking annoying right now. If you guys don't know, look, I have two dogs. I have Penny and I have Ileana. And Ileana is old and I have to keep looking over there and helping her out. And I got Penny and she's young and she is insane. So anyway, so anyway, this is why I smoke so much weed.
Dogs for two.
This is why I smoke these long extendo cloves. So what did you think about the show so far?
Like I'm digging the look more than anything. I'm digging,
you sound
like
you don't like it, bro. You say, is that Psy? You said I'm big.
Because like the way it looks, I do think that is a testament to Tony Gilroy's like aesthetics. Because apparently he is the actual person who shot Rogue One, and Colin Trevorrow is just like the director in name. That's a little like well-known secret apparently in Hollywood.
Okay,
but
he's just like that nigga now.
Apparently,
that's what he do. He just come around and just snitch on niggas when you get your own show. You just go around telling on niggas, I got you where you was at, nigga.
Hey, I feel like Disney told on themselves when they were like, let's hire Tony Gilroy to make the Rogue One prequel instead of the guy who's like the actual director.
Well, I mean, maybe it's not enough money.
That's a good point. Colin Trevorrow is apparently, he's a billion-dollar man now.
Bro, he's a man. And man, I feel like that's some shade. I feel like that don't go out there unless a nigga's trying to be like, yo, that nigga didn't do nothing. I did all the shit. Man, I'm Tony Gilroy.
I'm Tony Gilroy.
I bet you that nigga walking around L.A. right now talking about some... Nigga, I'm motherfucking Tony Gilroy.
I don't know what Tony Gilroy looks like.
I don't know what he looks like either.
I don't care. That's what his voice is to me.
That's exactly what his voice is. Nigga, if you ever walk up on me, just know this. I'm motherfucking Tony Gilroy. Tony
Gilroy. I do like the aesthetic that he's bringing to the show.
That's how it looks.
I like the fight scenes.
It looks how I just sounded. The aesthetic for the show. You don't think so?
No, I think so.
I think it looks like how I sounded. It's like
I think that's fair.
It looks smooth.
Fair enough to say.
You know what I'm saying? It's cool. Like everything looks cool. Nothing looks like clunky like it did in Boba Fett. Like I hadn't seen when they went out on the speeder and they took off on the speeder in episode 3. Nigga took off. I didn't see like
yeah, the slowest chase scene in the world. Yeah,
and I was worried about it because the first speeder didn't come out fast. I was like, hopefully this is just the decoy one. This is the decoy one.
Right. Yeah, and it was like even the shootout scene in like that weird warehouse with like the rusty engines hanging. Like it wasn't just like I shoot you, you die, you shoot me, and I try to dodge. Like a lot of just like shootout scenes are like there's stuff falling and like shit flying and hitting them hitting dudes. Like it was really. It was
still very Wild Wild Westy where it was like, pew pew.
Right, yeah, it was still like, they were smart enough to like add like story beats in there with like, oh, he's also trying to get the box, but he's also got a
what's in the box?
I should say that this takes place 5 years before the Battle of Yavin. Cassian Andor travels to the industrial planet of Marlana 1 on the trail of his missing sister. So that's what this whole show is about.
Why do all nerds just start saying imaginary words like everybody knows them? What the fuck is the Battle of Yavin?
Apparently, I think that's isn't that where Rogue One took place?
Oh, Yavin.
I think. Yeah, you know what? It's like Yavin 5 or something.
This is a sad story. This is a countdown to the main character's death.
Yeah, apparently they approached Diego Luna and asked him like to do 5 seasons of the show, and he's like, "That will kill me. Do not ask me to do 5 seasons of the show."
Well,
so they
that's
only do
because this
2.
nigga's what 36 years old. He do 5 more seasons. He'll be 40, 48. Right. Because how long they take to do goddamn shows these days. This nigga be 50 years old trying to do a movie, jumping, do a TV show where he got to jump around and fucking get his ass thrown around by alien creatures.
Right. He's like, am I Harrison Ford?
Hell no, man.
I'm not trying to work.
Lost y'all mind, man. I don't even like getting into airplanes. I'm not Harrison Ford at all. All right? Like, we not doing none of that Tom Cruise shit, okay?
It's like, I am not Tom Cruise. I might be the same height.
Well, I mean, there's no reason to do a 5. Let me just tell you something. He saved them a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
He could have just said, yeah, and just got paid.
Right? I was like, that Diego Luna has got some integrity.
Because what he did was save them a lot of money. Because the fact of the matter is, there's no reason to do 5 seasons. There's no reason to do this fucking show. I mean, that's really just being honest. They're just using him because he's brown and he's popular.
Yeah, I was...
Because I was like, yo, apparently there was no niggas in the revolution. Like, there was just no niggas. There was no nigga rebels. Like, I mean, I'm not mad, but there's just no nigga rebels.
Well,
like
Diego's adopted daddy, who I'm assuming is dead, is adopted. I was like, wait, what? His adopted daddy is black.
He is the baby daddy. He is adopted baby daddy. I don't know. I feel like this is adopted baby daddy. But no. But in all seriousness,
yeah. Like, let me ask you this: would you have liked to have seen like, this same team make a show, make a show in the Old Republic, or maybe like a Palpatine prequel or something like that, or
when you said team, you mean the people who are in charge?
Like, the people who made the
this
same kind of writing, this same kind of.
Look, that's a good question.
Or just like outside of
movie. I mean, what should we see? What franchise that's not being done already should we have seen instead of seeing this one?
Right.
And that's a great question. I think they should have revisited Han Solo, prequel, bring back the actor, television show, television series. Now, you want a good wham, bam, gun-ho, feel-good story every week. What's better than fucking Han Solo?
Yeah.
He's going to live all the way to the end every single time. It'd be basically Space's Frisco County Jr.
Yeah. That would be really fun.
You're welcome, Hollywood. Fucking call me. Like and subscribe. Boom.
I really don't know why people are so sour on that movie, because we both talked about how much we like that movie. It's really, really fun.
I don't love it. It's just I
didn't say love.
I'm for the people.
Oh, yeah.
This is for the people. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. Like I like it.
Yeah, I really.
It's not
like
a bad movie. If it was on
time.
TNT right now, if I was walking up, look, there's my TV right there. Oh, TV. What's on TV? Boom, TNT. Boom. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna be like, oh shit, this is the movie with motherfucking Atlanta in it. That's Atlanta right there. There you go, right there.
Yeah, it's funny because he's like he's not my favorite part of the movie.
No, I mean, look. He didn't do a bad part. I mean, everybody hated his part in the movie. A lot of people hated his part in the movie. I was just like, he did fine too. I don't understand. Everybody's a hater these days.
Yeah, he did fine.
And we actually are haters. We just don't talk about the shows we don't like on this show because we only have a certain amount of time because we don't pay for Zoom.
I enjoy the aesthetic of the show, but I would have much more the very popular opinion is let's do a Knights of the Old Republic TV show because those video games stories were so beloved. But yeah, this is it feels like we're retreading this same time period that I don't really care.
I know
about.
everybody's gonna hate this opinion. And I don't really like the people I'm about to talk about.
Okay.
I take my hat off on this one. Might be wrong about this, but I think the only people who could do justice for a Knights of the Old Republic type television show, not a movie, television show,
Yeah.
would be Dan and Dave.
Dan and Dave.
From the former writers for Game of Thrones.
What? Really?
Writers and showrunners for the show Game of Thrones. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Never. Not them. They don't know how to end anything. They ended it terribly. Fucked it up. But that's really more so George R.R. Martin's fault because he didn't have an ending. If you have an ending, they got to follow it. And then boom. There it is. But
fair enough.
I digress. I think they would be able to, they would be the only people who would be able to present that prestige, that majesty. Check out our House of the Dragon, Lord of the Rings podcast, and you'll understand more about what I'm talking about with that. But I just feel like for them to be able to convey that kind of, they've clearly got the ability to do that, to be able to grip people with their visuals and the politics. Because Knights of the Old Republic would be kind of a boring show, as far as people would be expecting a whole bunch of action between different Jedis and whatnot. But it's more going to be about politics. And I think I read somewhere where there was a show that they were trying to do that was more based in politics and Star Wars, but you'd have to get somebody who knows how to do that. You'd have to get an Aaron Sorkin. You'd have to go get somebody who knows how to like really write dialogue, because these fantasy and fucking like sci-fi writers, they're not good at writing stuff like that. They're not good at writing really fucking heart-gripping shit, in my opinion. Not because they can't, but I think it's because that muscle doesn't get worked a lot. You know, they work in the realm of shitty TV, I guess I should say. You know what I'm talking about. You know how you watch a sci-fi show and you know everything's about to happen?
Right.
And you're like, oh, this is about to happen next.
Yeah, you could definitely, I mean, you could tell a lot about, like, where like people, there's a reason why like so many people from the Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV show writers room are going out and making like amazing shit. It's because like they had to make, like, the same thing was like Eric Kripke was talking about, just like serialized television. Like some people are just like really, like when you're put through that regimen of having to write a certain way and know how to end an episode every week, then like you apply that to your next shit. But if you've only been writing movies like for majority of your career, and then like you want to say, oh, we're gonna have a TV show that's gonna feel like 10 1-hour movies, it's like, oh no, just make a television show.
Just make a television show. Make it good. And don't worry about anything else. You know, some of the best television shows, they get canceled. And you know what happens when they get canceled? They still leave the viewer wanting more.
Yeah.
You know, don't let your show get canceled and we just already just are good with it. That's where you should be leaving people. Don't ever write your fucking shows just to fucking make us feel good. Write your show to be a good story. One that can continue and or end at some fucking point in time.
Yeah, like obviously, I am curious with this show as far as like where it's going, because like, I mean, one, I guess they've already kind of. I mean, well,
he's going to Yavin or Yavin.
I mean, yeah, Yaman? We know what happens in Rogue One.
Yemen. He's going to Yemen.
We do know what happens in Rogue One, but we don't know really.
Well,
I guess we know what the show is about because he's finally becoming a rebel, and I guess he's also looking for his sister. So
two things can be true. He will not find his
both
sister.
Of those stories just kind of seem a little boring to me.
I feel like he will not find his sister. Also, won't be boring with the. I think they're using this as a way to somehow introduce Ahsoka. And somehow introduce, you know, like the other characters that they need to have, that they have coming forward later. Maybe the Bad Batch, maybe something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hope not.
I'm just saying this is Rex. Rex is out there. You know what I'm saying? We know that for a fact. He's out there. So maybe we see something like that. Excuse me, as a setup. I'm thinking that that's what they're trying to do, is set up something else. Because we need to do a video about Marvel, or the state of Marvel at least, because there's a lot of nerds talking shit about Marvel. And I understand where they're coming from, but I think it's just like this as well. They're using this to set up a lot of other stuff that's coming up down the road.
For sure. And they have, I mean, Marvel has turned their whole, like the MCU into, like, the MCU experience is now like reading comic books, you know, just wait for another issue to come out. But yeah, Star Wars.
I'm not going into that. Or not. That's for the next pod. I'm not.
Yeah. That's
giving y'all nothing. I'm not giving y'all nothing without clicking and liking and subscribing.
But yeah, Cassian, like he flees the planet, or like he meets up with Skarsgård. They have a little shootout with the Empire, or not the Empire. I don't know who these fucking guys are.
They like Empire police. So if the Empire is like the army, right? These niggas is like the police.
These are
just like the regular niggas.
Small town troopers.
Not troopers. Police.
I was about to say like state troopers, but no, that's a little too high of a title. They're super troopers.
They're superstar troopers.
I do like this actor who's playing the villain guy, Karn, I think is the character's name, because he's legitimately like, he's doing a good acting job. He's like legitimately crazy looking. I mean, like
he's not legitimately crazy looking to me. His little number one is fucking more crazy looking than me. Look at his fucking crazy ass right there. He's fucking looking crazy as shit right there. He looks like a fucking leprechaun had a baby with a bull. That's what it would look like. This fucking massive but small. And then as far as the lead villain, he's just a fucking dweeb. He looks like, I think they went with, people don't really like white people right now, right? They don't like white men. They don't like white men, right? So what do? We get a whitest guy we can find and make him look fucking disheveled every time. Every time we see him, he's just gonna look fucking sad. He looks sad and scared every time I see him. I don't know.
I guess. I mean, but there was like white dudes playing villains before.
I want a nigga to be like, I don't know, maybe he's gonna build into that, but I want him to be scary. Empire guy is supposed to be stoic.
I mean,
I don't know. What am I talking about? I don't know. I'm just a poor country boy from Alabama.
I mean, everybody's got their own, opinions.
No, I'm being facetious, nigga. We are television and film critics. My fucking word is bond.
But yeah, I'm enjoying his performance.
No, his performance is great. He's an asshole. I'm talking about the character though.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Well, I mean, I like the idea that they're focusing on like this guy who's just like so like super Mr. Morals. Like he's so like,
I like that too. I just don't like how they've chosen to make him like all bitchy. For a lack of a better word. You know what I mean? Like he's like, God damn it! And then he's like, when he gives the speech, it was so bad. That was like the worst.
Yeah, because
like acted bad speech. Like he acted it well, but it was just so bad that it was just like the baddest, worst. We've seen that bit in a lot of shit.
Right. Yeah. No, he definitely delivered that very well because he felt
that was the worst. That was the best worst speech in television and movie history.
Yeah, he did that really well, and I think that it just shows how like as much as he's wanted to go out there and fight the good fight and like or whatever fight the bad fight, I guess whatever
mostly
the most like whatever like he's wanted to go out there and inflict his sense of morality on people, but he honestly doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, and I like that.
He doesn't know what he's doing because he's a fucking dumb bitch. He doesn't listen to anything anybody says. Motherfucking Superior told you that these were fucking terrible police officers, some insubordinate assholes who were fucking clearly corrupt because they had money on them they shouldn't have had, and they had pussy on them that they shouldn't have had, and they had liquor on their breath, and I know, goddammit, they was on the clock because I was paying their ass. So fuck them niggas. I'm going to this goddamn meeting. I'll be back. Don't put your feet on my desk. And that's the last thing he told him. Now this motherfucker. So fuck this dude. I don't like his glib. His smug glib nature. He's a fucking asshole.
I'm digging it so far. I do think I would have liked it more if he was the only person who felt that way. The fact that he has a buddy, like who is like kind of gassing him up, I would probably feel a little bit better if like he was like the only person who's this deranged and like committed to.
He is the only person that's deranged. This guy's clearly trying to use him to rise to the top.
Yeah, but he's. I mean,
it's the way of the dark side, Alec.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The dark side is always at play.
Fair enough. But yeah, I'm not as intrigued by what's gonna happen next as I was hoping that I would by this show.
Who cares? Who cares what's gonna happen next? This nigga's gonna die. This is why it doesn't matter. And this is why it's stupid to have started here, especially here. We're gonna start here. I guess maybe that's what they were saying. Look, come on, bro. Like, come on. Don't you want to do 5 seasons? It's dumb to start here. Come on, don't you want to do 5 seasons?
Yeah, it's like, why? And it's so baffling to me. Why would you want to do 5 seasons of this time period? Like, the Star Wars world is so vast. Like, we were talking about this on some other pod. I can't remember. Probably another Star Wars pod. But fucking, we could go back to the fucking Mandalorian Wars if you wanted to. And, like, have a dope ass series there.
Man, we could go back to Mandalorian Wars. We could go back to we could just raise Leia. Y'all love Leia so much. Just raise the bitch. Raise the bitch up. We know what's going to happen to her. Raise her
up. Like, no, fuck that too. I don't want to have a show about nobody I've seen.
Like I said, we could do the Han Solo TV show. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, look, that's a lob. You're welcome. You know what I'm saying? We could do a fucking Wookiee TV show. Let's just go do the origin of Chewbacca. Let's do, how did Chewbacca become Chewbacca? He was actually a man first. No, I'm joking. He was actually a woman. He was born a woman.
He worked on some very experimental hair growth treatments.
Right, but I mean, to your point, there's so many characters, there's so many things that we could do. Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
At least that's what this leaves you with. That's what episode 3 leaves you with. Is like, definitely episode 2. But definitely at the end of this, you're like, who asked for this? Who was asking for this?
Yeah.
Slap that motherfucker who was asking for him. I don't advocate violence. I'm just saying.
Like,
you should slap whoever you know that was saying, I need to see an Andor. I can't wait till they do an Andor.
There was. I'm not sure if you watched that Star Wars anime special that they did, where they came had 10 different stories from the Star Wars world, but they were all just standalone anime stories.
No, I didn't watch that.
That was dope. And there was there's a couple episodes that were like whatever.
Oh,
but
you did a review on that, didn't you?
Yeah, I did a review on that. Y'all check that out.
Oh god.
But
did I just do a drop for you?
You did. I appreciate it.
Terrible video. No, I'm joking.
But no, there's 6 episodes in there that you could have built off of that world, because none of them take place. We don't see fucking Luke Skywalker or Han Solo or any of these characters. It's just that world. It just shows you how rich the world of Star Wars and Jedi and Sith are.
Y'all just be using words. Rich. It shows you how rich it is. See, it show you how rich George Lucas is, nigga. That's what it shows you. This motherfucker got. Anytime you say one of these characters' names, yeah, I actually wrote that down in 1974. See, this is right here. It's 1974. I wrote it down. It's in the notes. Like, damn, you know all of these shits, George.
I believe that George will come out and take credit for all.
Stan Lee ain't created as many characters as this motherfucker. Lucas. God damn.
Yeah, if you've gone through the Wikipedia for Phantom Menace alone, you see the backstories on some of these characters that have were barely in the movie. Like
Right.
they have a whole backstory on like every single pod racer.
Before we close out, there's something to that about directors and writers. Like the best directors and writers, they like have these like backstories for every character and every scene of every movie and TV show that they do. And like, I just want to say, you guys are clearly fucking crazy. Like, you have to be insane to do that. I was just watching, and it doesn't matter who I was watching. I was watching a really good really good director, shitty actor, do an interview, and yeah, he was talking about this shit, and I was just like, man, you guys are crazy. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to writers. You're crazy.
Yeah, guys, thank you for listening to the Drunk Banthas podcast. We try to do this every once in a while, so go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, so you can get updates on new videos. Check us out on Twitter, IG, TikTok, likewise, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the internet things at the Drunk Banthas. Until next time, stay safe, my little rebels, and may the force be with you.
I'm not looking for love, I'm just looking for likes.